Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Isle of Man in the UK. This is John and Mike's MMA Corner.
I've got Kendrick Latchman fighting again. You main evented the last time against Kevin Gray, and it was I'll call it a dubious decision loss, and I'm going to give my perspective, if you don't mind, on why I think it was a dubious loss. I think he looked like he won it via what the scorecard is given to the judges by landing the takedowns, but I don't think he landed any real damage. When he got the takedown, he wasn't doing it much from there. You had a triangle in the second round, I think it was second round. Your leg kicks, which what really frustrates me is judges don't appreciate or acknowledge damage applied by leg kicks. You certainly had him, I think, by the second round again, affected with the leg kicks. There was one that landed particularly quite hard, made him switch stances for a second. And in the third round again, it was just a technical bout of him just getting the takedowns, and you were going for submission attempts, or when you were standing, you were landing more damage. It was frustrating. It was frustrating watching that scorecard get released when you watch it. And how do you take that? Because you're on a 4-fight win streak. How do you look at that fight?
It definitely opened my eyes up a little bit more. I was upset at first. It sucks losing, but like I said, to fight. But I didn't. But I know not to leave the fight into the judges' hands. Next time, I have to finish from now on. Even if you win or dominating, it still can go the other guy away. And you just can't leave it in the judges' hands. You got to finish.
It looked like you, in my eyes as well, I thought you could have had a little bit more of it pushing your tempo. You looked like you weren't even breaking a sweat in the sense of your pace that you were putting out there. I thought there was definitely a gear or two more in you. And I thought maybe if you had applied that from the second round onwards, I thought if you maybe put your output more, a little bit more of the combinations, I think you could have maybe could have had them put them away. Did you, looking back at that, have you thought that yourself?
Yeah. I finished the fight earlier, but I just played around too much with them. I didn't think about the judge at all. Just trying to put on a show and just play around with them. But, next time, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to go finish the fight. I have the ability to finish, and I'm going to do it.
Well, I need you to explain, though, one thing about that fight, and it's still in my mind. Can you please explain the gold tassels, I think they were? What was going on with the bits on this? What are they?
It was. I ordered it. I didn't think it was gonna look like that. They were actually like bows, but I didn't think those were bows.
I was thinking, is he giving his opponent something to hold on to, like a little something to cling on? I was like, what on earth are they? And then I thought
it was funny because I thought it was like a little flap that came on his shorts, but they actually, like, when I got it and I opened it, I was like, oh my god, these are bows. And like they were coming untied because when he took me down in the first round. Like, he stepped on it and it was, like, untying. But luckily I had tape on it, so it didn't untie.
They were special shorts, I have to say. It makes me think that could be like a little trademark with your shorts. Honestly, that was fantastic. Okay, well, look, the fight itself, it happened. You got yourself matched up again. You're going to be back on the Titan FC card, which is, Shamrock FC card. And they're good eggs there. You're fighting... this name, I can't believe it's real. Sharky Slater. Now, I can't get my head around having a name like Sharky, but anyway, he had a victory. I've not spoken to the lad, but if I did, I'd have to have a word with his parents probably before I spoke to him. You've got yourself another fight against this kid. This kid as well. He's not too bad. He's another flyweight. He's a young, up and coming flyweight. You're probably wanting to be putting on a show and get yourself back in there. What do you feel that you'll have to do a little bit? Obviously, you say you're not leaving the judges' hands, but is there anything in particular though to make sure? Do you feel like you have to maybe throw more combinations? Obviously, the takedowns was something that stuck out a little bit. That's something you can still work on, I imagine.
What I could have done in the last fight, I didn't do. I kind of strayed away from it. I could have out-wrestled him, but I didn't. I was just too worried about the striking a little bit and trying to counter because I expected him to be a little bit more aggressive. But what I got to do now is be more active and be the all-around MMA fighter that I am. You know, whether it's striking, if I can out-strike him, I know that if he want to grapple, I can out-grapple him. It's just I got to be more active.
Now the triangle that you had on in a second, that looked close. It looked like you had it cinched in. Did you feel like you had it locked in, or did it feel like maybe his chin was just far enough tucked in to protect his neck?
I feel like I had it locked in. The only thing that I didn't do was I didn't get an angle that I needed to.
Yeah. That's why I was thinking that as soon as you had it locked, the legs went and locked, the foot went behind the knee. I was just watching, I was like, all you had to do was wrap that leg up. I was like, grab that leg, angle, done, you're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just took a little bit. I think that delay in getting that leg helped him probably get himself shaken out a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. And that's something I've been working on too. It's just working on, once I get it, I kind of rushed it. I got it in, but I've been working and stay patient once I get a submission because they're not going anywhere right there. Once I get that, I can get patient. I can be patient and just work the angle that I need to get, then try to go for the finish. I kind of rushed it a little bit. That's something I've been working on, is being patient when I get a submission and just working on getting a better position.
It was impressive, your performance on the ground. The fact that anytime you got your down, you weren't being stuck in side control. You got yourself back to guard, and you were getting yourself up off the ground. That was something that wasn't. People like the commentators were saying that they felt like he was letting you up a little bit, and I was like, no, it's not that he's letting you up. It's the fact that he can't do anything to you on the ground. You can clearly see that he was having problems, and especially your length. You had a bit of height over him, and it definitely played a difference, especially on the ground.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of things. That's another thing that fighters don't worry about when they fight me. Is they just see most of my fights and most of my wins are just striking, but they forget that when I started, I had a wrestling background and I was just using my grappling when I started out fighting, and I just got more comfortable with my striking, and I just kept striking with everybody. Now, like, they just think I'm just a striker, and that's it.
I gotta say, you've got long legs for that. When you're on the ground, I would see you as an immediate threat, especially in your guard. You could slap on those arm bars and triangles, and they're just a threat in itself. And the thing is, you were quite creative with your legs, kicks. When you're on the ground, instead you landed an up kick, but the thing was, you were cracking off with the back of your foot, like the kind of heel, the solid heel bit onto his calf. And I quite like that creativity, because people who don't know it, if you get hit in the calf, it's shit. It's horrible. Like, it really makes a difference.
And that's something I work on all the time, just being more creative. You gotta, that's what martial arts is about in the fighting. You gotta improvise. To make yourself unpredictable, you gotta be unpredictable. You gotta be creative when you're fighting. So, art. And that's what I like to do.
It was good.
Improvise, create.
It was fun. It was fun to watch. The idea. Because I saw it and I went, I like what he's doing. I might actually do that next time I'm in the cage. If I get taken down, I thought that's cool. I like that idea. So I remember when my pro debut specifically, I got the guy down, and when he was a cheating git anyway, because he grabbed my shorts to get reverse me, to get a reversal, and but then he stood up because he couldn't do anything. He couldn't get through the guard, and I was just being like a pain in the ass to him. So he stood up and he stood over me. But what I was doing was, instead of like you did the heel kicks, I was just going below the knee and kicking it and jabbing it, to make him lose his balance. So to try and throw an up kick straight after, because obviously it would bring his head forward. But like that little thing there is a lovely little one, just to chop away the calf, because people don't do it enough, I find, in MMA. I remember watching a bout in Bellator, and now I don't watch a lot of Bellator fights, but I remember this one specifically. And it was a classic striker grappler fight, and the guy, the wrestler, when he was getting strike, the striker he was chopping at the calf. He wasn't doing fire kicks, he was doing calf kicks, and he literally crippled the guy in the fight. It was a beautiful thing, just took all the spring out of the step. So instead of trying to go up to the thigh, where the wrestler would maybe catch it to go for the shoot, he was going for that calf. It was too low for the guy to get time it to catch that leg. It was a beautiful bit, and I'm surprised people don't do that more often in fights.
Yeah, it comes to like your fight IQ too. A lot of people don't do it. Once they start to see that you use any part of your body, really, that's legal that you can use.
Yeah.
You can manipulate your opponent or like give yourself an advantage doing that. This is like I don't have to do it hard. I just do it a couple of times and it's gonna wear. It's gonna start to sink in and affect the fight.
It does, yeah. It doesn't take a lot, especially if you land one good leg kick. That's sometimes all you need is one good leg kick, and then just tapping away at it just does the damage itself.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly, and it all depends where you hit.
Yes,
speed accurate.
Yeah, it is. Accuracy's key. You feel like it sounds like you've the fight that you had. Obviously, you got the decision loss, but the thing is, I wouldn't take too much out of that as a loss. You know, it's not like you got like mauled. That's the thing. It's not like I suppose it's one of them ones you just got to accept that it happened, get over it, and get on to the next fight because. This next fight coming up is just a way to just carry on that 4-fight win streak you had before. Really carry on with that momentum because I don't know how to assess this last one.
Yeah. It's like when it happened, I was just like it sucked, and I was kind of beating myself up for it. But the next day or two, I looked at the video again. I was like, well, I know I didn't lose. I knew I didn't lose. When they called the decision, I definitely didn't expect him to get it, but when I beat myself up for it, but I was like, well, yeah, it was the judges, and it was my fault too, because I could have finished the fight, and then when it went to the judges, I played around too much, so that I just took from that. I'm like, well, I have to finish, I can't play anymore with anybody from this, like, I know, it happened to me before in the past, where judges gave the fight to somebody, it sucks, but that's the thing, you can't leave it to the judges. You don't know what they're looking at or what they're scoring. So you just got to finish it. If you can finish, take the fight.
And it's quite exciting then from a fan perspective listening in, because it's then going to tell me that, awesome, you're going to go in there with that, fuck that 15 minutes, I'm going to have you out by the first if I can. If I can't have you by the first, I'm going to finish you one way or another. That's quite exciting from a fan's perspective, knowing that you're going to go in with that mindset now where you're not, because you've been burned, you don't want to have it happen and you're sick of it. And at the same time, I suppose you're kind of implementing certain things in training to make sure that can happen, really.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And like I said, been working bad situations, scenarios, everything. And Shark is a good guy, he's a good fighter. But like I said before, he's not bringing anything that I've seen or haven't been against. I've had way more fights than he had. And I fought pretty much similar fighters to him. He's not bringing anything new, and this is his first time at 125 too, so that's another factor that's going to play in. He's never made 125 or even fought at the weight class, so that's going to be interesting because I know his last couple of fights were at 145.
I thought it was 135. Right. See, that's the thing, because he's going 125. That would automatically, if I was an opponent, his opponent, i.e. you, my mindset would be high tempo, high pace, first round. Really crank it on him, see how he comes. If he makes it through the first round, I'd make sure I had the pace and a tempo that would make him blow out and see how he recovers in that first round.
For sure. Like, this... I'm not saying anything away from 145 or 35 weight class, but they're just not as fast as we are at 125. Or they don't have the tempo and pace that we do. No. He hasn't fought anybody that can go 3 rounds or 5 rounds the same pace. And that's something that's going to wear him down, because I can go 5 rounds at the same pace without slowing down.
You see that, yeah. And I'm just saying, if I was the opponent of his going against him, that's what my game plan would be. I'd be like, I'm going to put a pace on that's relentless so that he literally will frail and fall apart is my mindset. I'd break him before and make him think I need to go back to 135. that's how I'd be doing.
This fight's gonna give him something thinking about coming down to 125. You know, it's a different speed too.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to adjust to that.
Oh yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he's never fought anybody as fast. He never fought anybody as fast as me, or quick. And the thing that I give the biggest contribute to my success in fighting is my fight IQ. He hasn't fought anybody as smart as me.
Well, he's going to have. I have to say, yeah, you're a. It's not that you wouldn't be my first choice to pick in my welcoming to the 125 division. Yeah, it's a tough fight for Shoggy, but at the same time, like anyone can win any fight. Like it's not. I'm not writing him off, but at the same time, you're not the kind of ideal opposition I'd pick. But it's going to be. The thing is, Jesse knows what he's doing when he picks fights. So obviously he believes it's a good matchup. And look, I hope the guy makes 125. I hope he's gets in there healthy, and we get the fans get to see, who pay to go to the event, get to see a good fight. And I'm sure you're just eager to get in and get that win back in that column again and get yourself going on that kind of momentum.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm not counting him out either. He's a tough guy. It's just like I look at everything in a fight. I look at all the variables and try to calculate it. It's something you got to do as a fighter. You got to look at everything.
I agree.
You can't miss any details.
And look, it's happening on the Shamrock FC card. If you want to watch the fight, by the way, folks, you go into the website shamrockfc.com. Very simple. They have the fight shown on there. It's like I think you pay X amount and you get to watch the fights and other fights as well. It's all explained on there. If you go on the website, people, you can watch the fight live as well. There's a lot of fights going on anyway. The whole next 7 days, it's crazy week of fights. But look, this is one of the top 125s in the world. Keep an eye out for the future, people. So I think you should all tune in and keep an eye out on this, man. Kendrick, before I let you shoot off, my man, what's your social media so people can jump on and give you a follow?
You can like my Facebook page, Kendrick the Uprising Latchman. You can follow me on Instagram, Kendrick Latchman, one word. And on Twitter, The Uprising. And
what about your sponsors? You got any sponsors out there helping you out?
No, not so far right now.
What? You haven't got Nike or what? Nike, Reebok, Adidas? Come on.
I'm hoping Powerade gets me because I drink a lot of
it. And what about then? Do you want to give a mention to your gym and where it is, and your training partners, your coaches, people like that?
Yeah, man, I love my gym. Welcome at Training Center. Great gym, best gym I've been at so far. Excellent staff, great energy in there, good chemistry with everybody. My boxing coach Luis Pena and my grappling coach Derek Darling, they helped me improve a lot since I got there. It's amazing. And it's located in Lenexa, Kansas. So we'll be having a special coming up later on this week. We'll be having Ronda Rousey's mom coming and hold a seminar for the judo. It'll be the 7th through the 9th.
Nice. She is a vicious woman. I really like her. She doesn't hold back on what she says. I like her a lot. Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah,
so I'm looking forward to that. Even though I'm be fighting, I'm gonna try to come in there after the fight and learn some things.
And she'll throw you around happily. Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll happily hip on you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Look, have a great fight week build up. Cutting away or whatever you're going to be doing, relaxing, training. Have a great time getting there. Have a great fight at Shamrock FC, and enjoy that whole weekend. And obviously, Ronda's mum's going to whoop your butt as well, so it's going to be a good time for you, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.